Back on the show is Megan Anderson, who's got a fight coming up here May 7th against Amanda Bell at Invicta FC 17. Megan, how's it going?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Hey, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. Not everyone asked, so I appreciate that. And Megan, last time we spoke, obviously this was before your second Invicta fight, I should say. And you'd made the move permanently to Kansas City. It's been a couple months now, more than a couple months, I should say. How's everything going as far as living in the U.S. now?
Everything's going pretty good. Training is always hard, but I'm learning and I'm improving every day. So that's and I train with some of the best athletes in the country. So it's a pretty phenomenal experience.
Good stuff. Do you feel like you're more at home now that you've been in Kansas City for a couple months now?
Like I have a car now, so
That's a big step.
Because I can kind of go and do my own thing. But Australia will always be my home, though.
Gotcha. Was it difficult driving on a different side of the road in the U.S.?
It was. It was super funny. One of my training mates, he was the first person to let me drive his car. And it was super funny because he was freaking out slightly because I may or may not have been driving somewhat close to the car in front of us.
Gotcha. Good stuff. Well, you survived. I mean, and you're here to do this interview, so that's all that really matters here. But let's talk about your last fight in Invicta. Invicta FC 15, you knocked out Amber Leibrock in January. Overall, were you satisfied with your performance in that fight?
Yeah, I was happy with my performance. I actually just watched that fight probably like a week or two ago, and knowing the type of fighter that I am now to what I was then, I feel like that was a bad performance looking back now. But on the night, I was really happy. Everything that we worked on came together. We executed a really great game plan, and we came away with a win.
And that's all that matters. And you got the finish. You got actually the first knockout victory of your professional career. Was that the plan all along to try and knock her out, or did it kind of come as a surprise?
No, we just plan to go in there and just execute everything we've been working on. We just knew kind of what she could potentially come at us with, so we just was wary of that, and it just kind of happened. Going into that third round in the break, I remember James said to me, he was like, I'm not happy unless, he's like, I won't be happy unless we get a finish. I remember thinking, oh my God, okay.
Taking on Amanda Bell here. How do you think you match up against her?
I feel like it's a really good matchup. There's a big height and reach advantage, clearly going to myself.
Right.
But Amanda is, she's a different body type that I've, haven't exactly fought before. She's a lot shorter. But I feel like it's not going to be, a good fight for her. It's going to be, she's going to have a lot of trouble, I think.
And the other thing about her heading into this matchup, she hasn't fought in over a year. She was supposed to have that fight against Lena Gomes, and obviously that didn't end up happening. Do you feel like Kaycee Dress will be a factor in this fight?
Yeah, I feel like it will. It kind of happened with me a little bit in my fight against Cindy, because that was my first fight in like 10 or 11 months, I think it was. And it really, you don't think it does, but, in that fight, I just didn't pull the trigger, and it's not like how I normally fight. So I feel like that might play a little bit. It might not. We'll see on the night.
Interesting. And who are some of the people you're working with specifically at Glory MMA to help you get ready for this fight?
Just all the guys, really. James, I work a lot with James. Tim Elliott, Shockbait, Zach Cummings, Yaz, Grant, been working a lot with Grant Dawson. But yeah, just all those guys, they're such amazing and top level athletes. They really push me every single day.
And that must give you a lot of confidence because I'm sure Amanda's not getting the same type of quality training partners like you are. And you've got UFC level guys. You've got Tim Elliott's the champ and Titan. I mean, it's a lot of really high level training partners.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for all, like, I don't really look at who my opponent's training with because realistically, she could be training with the best person in the world, but that's not gonna help her in the cage. So that doesn't really matter as long as I know I'm training hard and I'm training, you know, with everything I've got. That's all that matters, and she's gonna regret stepping in the cage in a week or so.
How's the weight cut going for this fight? Has that process started for you now, or do you go a little bit closer to May 7th?
Yeah, like I've dropped a bit through diet. I've been working with Tyler Minton,
Oh, of
and
course, James Krause's guy. Also, Chris Camozzi works with him. Tyler, yeah, the Melee way or whatever, right?
he also does some stuff with Power Athlete, which they're an amazing company. So I've been working a lot with him and my diet. We'll start the main cut probably coming in closer to next week, but it's really well. I'm steadily dropping, so it's not an easy cut for me, but I do it properly, so it's always healthy.
Is a lot easier knowing that you sort of have everything sort of prepped out for you. You don't have to really plan a lot of that. Tyler's just kind of gives you sort of a blueprint, and you just have to follow it.
Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. Like, he's got it to like pre-workout, after workout, and I've got how many grams of like protein, carbs, fats, all that kind of stuff. Everything's pretty much like written out for me, which is really good. And although like he gave me all the measurements in ounces, so I had to convert them
Oh,
to
right.
kilograms so I could actually understand what he was trying to tell me.
I got to get a prediction here. May 7th. How do you see this fight going down?
I feel like it's going to be finished in the first or second round.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to your fight. Invicta FC 17 going down May 7th live on UFC Fight Pass. Megan, I want to thank you so much for joining me here on the program. Just remind my audience where they can find you on social media and give any thank yous or shout outs. The floor is yours.
No worries. Well, social media, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So Facebook, it's Megan Anderson MMA. On Instagram and Twitter, it is Megan A_MMA. And a huge thank you to all my sponsors and mainly my team at Glory MMA and Fitness, James and all the guys there. They've helped me so much and they push me every day. And like with them, I feel like I can do anything. So. And a huge shout out to my family back home. I miss them a lot, and this fight, it lands on Mother's Day back home, so it's definitely it would definitely be pretty special when I come away with a win for my mom to be able to watch that on Mother's Day and have my hand raised. So yeah.